Welcome back to Advanced English Language Academy. This is Yasin. Today we'll be talking about passive voices. Most of my students ask me that is it okay if they use English if they speak English without using passive voices? And they say that is it possible that a person doesn't know anything about passive voices and he can speak English? So my answer to them is no. Today, I'm just going to discuss that why our passive voice is important. There are certain situations in which if you use active voice and you don't use passive voice, so your English will be wrong. So I have come up with a brief discussion and brief class about the passive voices. So let's talk about when to use passive voices. First of all, when the doer is unknown. Some action has happened, something has happened, and we don't know who has done it, but we know what has happened. We don't know who has done it, but we know what has happened. For example, my pen has been stolen. Now, who has stolen my pen is unknown, but what I know that my pen has been stolen. So when the doer is unknown, you'll have to use passive voice. Secondly, when the doer is obvious. Obvious means everybody knows him or her. So then there is no need to talk about the doer. There is no need to talk about the subject, the person who has performed the action. Just simply, for example, Gloria was rusticated from college. So we know who rusticates people, and it is not important as well. What is important that Gloria was rusticated from college? The doer is obvious. Everybody knows that, okay? Everybody knows the person. For example, we say Ali was arrested. So we know who arrests people. So it is just not important. Obvious. Everybody knows the doer. So in that case, we use passive voices. When action is more important than doer. Sometimes, we just want to talk about the action of the doer. Like, for example, we say COVID-19 vaccines were discovered. Honestly, I don't know who discovered COVID-19 vaccines. But what I know that COVID-19 vaccines were discovered. It's not important to know about the person who discovered COVID-19 vaccines. But what is important, good news for the world, COVID-19 vaccines were discovered. Nobody knows that, and nobody wants to know that. No need to know who discovered COVID-19 vaccines. But what is important, the good news is, COVID-19 vaccines were discovered. To shift focus to the object. It's a little bit tricky, but let me tell you. For example, I'm talking about this marker, okay, right? I'm talking about marker, and I say that it's a white and black marker. It has a black cap. It has a black bottom. Then there is a black sponge inside it. When we supply ink to the sponge supplies ink to the nib, and the marker writes. And then at the end I say, John invented this marker. So you just think about it. Throughout my discussion, I was talking about the marker. But the last sentence, when I say that John invented this marker, it's wrong, because my subject was marker. I was talking about that object. It was the object of my discussion. I was talking about the marker, and then I brought John forward. For example, I said John invented this marker. So this sentence is wrong. I should stick to the object. I should talk about the marker. The marker was invented by John, because my topic was marker. I was talking about marker. So if I say John invented this marker, so I move away from my topic. But if I say the marker was invented by John, so then my topic is the marker and I am talking about the marker. Then for unwilling action. Unwilling means I don't want to do something. For example, if you ask me, I have run 12 kilometers today, and someone comes. So most of the times my students, they ask me to play cricket. So please play cricket with us. So please play cricket with us. So they compel me. I say, okay, let's play cricket. At that time, I don't play cricket. Cricket is played by me. It's an unwilling action, because I already told you that I'm tired. I don't want to play cricket. But when my students ask me, so I have to play cricket. So when you don't do something by your own will. Someone compels you, someone forces you. So in that case, you use passive voices. And so if you look at these points, you will understand that it's not possible to speak perfect English without learning passive voices. Active voices are not enough. We have to learn passive voices. How to identify a passive voice? When will we know that it is a passive voice? When we see a voice in a sentence. So how will we understand and how will we recognize passive voices? So very easy solution. Be plus V3. V3 means third form of verb. Now be has forms. Is also be, was is also considered be, am, are, be, being, been. They are all be. So when you see third form of verb after them, for example, exams have been cancelled. So be as been is be and cancelled is the third form of verb. So we understood that it is passive voice. Right? And then in the next sentence, the football match will be played tomorrow. So we see be. It is already be, as I told you, that be plus third form of verb, and played is third form of verb. So when be, after be, there is a third form of verb, so we should understand that it is passive voice. Stay tuned. Thanks a lot. Keep watching.